Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this week's reflection. When I was a boy growing up on the farm in Bindi Bindi in Western Australia, on our toilet wall, there were several poems, and I'd like to read one of them to you. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too, if you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build 'em up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to serve your turn long after you are gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you except the will, which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings, nor lose the common touch. If neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that is in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. This poem has represented a sort of commissioning in my life. Every now and again I remember certain aspects of it. And if you had to summarize it from my perspective, I guess what it's trying to achieve is it's finding a balance in everything. Finding a sense of harmony. And ultimately, a deep sense of happiness. Happiness wrought of struggle rather than the absence or the negation of pain. The spirit or the paradox of the spiritual, of any spiritual discipline, is that in letting something go, we actually make room for more. There's also a movement at the moment around essentialism, that actually less is better, and we could apply some of their principles in our lives. Mahatma Gandhi was heard to say, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony. This weekend we honour the ascension of Jesus, when Jesus left earth and returned to God's presence. It wasn't a second death. It is quite profound in the reality of the church at the time, or the gathering of people who chose to follow Jesus. I find it very difficult to explain, as I've said publicly before. But I believe a genuine faith is actually an act of surrender. That genuine faith is actually a letting go in order for more to take place in our lives. How that manifests itself in every life is different, of course. But this act of surrender takes a lot of courage. Whatever your discipline, you and I are commissioned to make a difference in the world. This means we must take some responsibility for the things that we are in control of. And the paradox is that when we take responsibility, there's also freedom. This week there may be something you'd like to hold before God. Bring harmony, bring happiness to a situation, a relationship, a circumstance. And that in letting go, joy may fill your heart, your mind, and your soul.